Hey all, this video is going to be quick and dirty. There is actually another video coming out today. It's going to be a top shelf, so stay tuned. I'm leaving for London in like a few hours, but I've been getting all these comments on my contrast video about how to find your contrast. And I realized that I didn't share how to do that. And so this is going to be your guide. So let's jump in. So we're going to start by taking a photo of yourself in natural light. And like I said in the other video, it's gonna be one where you kind of look like crap. You know what I mean? Just like, I just woke up. I want to have the most accurate depiction of what my complexion actually looks like. This is diagnostic from the standpoint of like what you're starting with, but you could do this anytime based on what you're wearing to see kind of like how high contrast you need the makeup look to be to kind of come up to it and things like that. Or if you like change your hair color or you get a tan or something, you can do this really quickly anytime. So here's the photo of myself. I'm not going to alter anything. It is about how the colors relate to one another. It is not about whether you have deep skin or whether you have fair skin or whether you have medium skin. It's about the comparison of your skin tone versus the rest of your features. And so I'm going to throw this into grayscale. This is PicMonkey, by the way, and this is a free tool. I pay for it, but I think you can do all of this without paying for it. So I put my saturation all the way down. You don't want to use a filter, like a black and white filter or something, because sometimes there are like other editorial things that they do with those filters. And sometimes it'll like, you know, really deepen your blacks and stuff like that. Like you want this to just be accurate, not cute, you know? Then I'm going to take a rectangle. I'm going to put a rectangle on the screen here. And I'm going to then go in and change the colors. So gradient allows me, I'm gonna throw this all the way over into 0 so that it has like a direct gradient. Gradient is going to allow me to basically compare the lightest color and the deepest color. So I'm taking my little eyedropper. I'm gonna take, not where like the light's hitting me, because that's always gonna be white. That's basically like cameras are going to try and capture that. And so I'm gonna take like, you know, an accurate shade from like my cheek, right? And then I'm going to take the other shade and I'm gonna make that kind of, I feel like the most deep part of maybe my eyebrows. Like my hair is cast in shadow. You're gonna have to use a little bit of judgment here. Like if your hair is blonde, like don't take a sample of your roots, for example. Like it's not going to be as accurate kind of for the whole scope of how your eye perceives you. So it's like, this is kind of a more accurate version. Like these little pieces of my hair are a more accurate version of how my hair actually looks against my skin. Or I could go to like my eyebrow here. So that's great. And you can see that I am like low to medium contrast, right? But there are people out there who want a number. And so I found you a website and it is called colordesigner.io, and I'm going to link it down below and you can compare colors in here. Did you have to grayscale at first? No, I just find it to be easier. So then I'm going to go in here. The gradient was just for cute purposes so that, you know, you could look at it. But if you really want a number, you can take each of those hexadecimal codes. Hexadecimal codes are one of the ways that the internet or design, regardless, understands color. And it's sort of a universal scale of like RGB values, red, green, blue. And so there are other ways of conveying this. I just have always worked in hexadecimal. We're gonna throw 1 in there. That's the lightest. And we're going to throw the deepest in the other side, and it is going to spit out a delta E. Delta E, don't be scared. It's just the difference. It's gonna be the difference between 1 and 100. So that's pretty close to 50, meaning I'm technically medium contrast. I understand that. I tend to focus on lower contrast because I do have less bright of skin and things like that because I have so much pigmentation, and it also just makes it so that I don't have to wear as much makeup. But like, yes, to be fair, by this scale, you would call me something like medium contrast. But, you know, just for an example, there's white, okay? And then here is like all the way to black, and that's gonna give you a delta E of 100. So that means that you are high contrast. And then if you are like deep skinned, and let's say that like, you know, the lightest portion of your skin is gonna be in grayscale, like something like that. okay, and then your hair is gonna be black, you're gonna be looking at like a, you know, a 22, that's gonna be low contrast. And I would say that honestly, it breaks down by like quarters, essentially. You know, it's like you have in the lower 25% or maybe 33%, something like that, lower third. I've had a lot of coffee, I'm sorry. That's gonna be kind of low contrast, and it's all on a scale, you know? Then you've got your medium contrast there in the sort of like 34 to 66 range. Like, you don't have to label yourself necessarily. It's more just understanding where you exist on this gradient and letting that help you decide how deep you want to make your makeup and your clothes and things like that to go with it. This is all so mutable. It's all so adaptable. Like, never let anyone diagnose you and say like, okay, this is how you are, therefore this is how you must wear your makeup, or these are the clothes that you have to wear. This is about freedom. This is about giving you the tools to know how to push the brights and the deeps, or not, in order to achieve the look that you're going for. Because for people who are high contrast, a lot of times your makeup kind of gets lost. And for people who are medium to low contrast, sometimes the makeup can look too severe, or you might have trouble achieving glam knowing which way to go with it. And so when you are lower contrast, you can achieve a more glam look without going all the way to black. You can just focus on like the deepest values that are already pre-existing on your face. And then people who are high contrast, I mean, you can get away with like sharp lines and things like that, but you can also tone your features down if you so desire and get a really easy no makeup look, maybe going towards browns or grays on your face instead. And so it is just, like I said, about giving you the tools to do what you want. So I hope that this was helpful. Let me know if it was. And again, there's gonna be another video later today, so tune in for that. I love y'all, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.